Live from tape, pre-recorded at our studios in Austin, Texas and Portland, Oregon, it's Syndicated with Lesley and Ben. Hey everyone, I'm the Ben of that.
And I'm the Lesley. This is a twice-monthly podcast about television, genre, and storytelling in which we watch an episode of a show and explore the history of television one episode at a time.
If you're just now joining us, we're talking about 30 Coins, the Spanish-language HBO-produced horror series, but not the one we just covered, about the demonic energy hidden inside the 30 pieces of silver that Judas Iscariot received from the Romans for betraying Jesus Christ. There's also a priest who boxes. 30 Coins was co-created by Alex de la Iglesia and Jorge Huarache Cavaria, who co-wrote the script together with de la Iglesia directing each episode. 30 Coins debuted on HBO Europe in November of 2020 and was simultaneously made available on the then recently launched HBO Max streaming service, back when it was glitchy as hell.
Yes, the recently launched HBO Max, formerly HBO Go, now formerly HBO Max, which is now just Max.
Executives.
Yeah, they sure do. They sure do keep making decisions.
You know what Netflix has been called the entire time? Netflix.
Yeah, that's true.
It's real straightforward. Anyway,
anyway,
far be it from me to
Seriously.
criticize them on that, but like whatever.
Seriously. The apocalyptic battle of the divine forces of good and evil hangs in the balance over the small Spanish town of Pedraza in the central province of Segovia in Spain. It's there that one of the titular 30 coins is discovered, leading to the town becoming infested with demonic monsters bent on retrieving the unholy object. The only thing standing between the demons and the coin is a priest who boxes. It's a compelling drama about the nature of belief and the forces of good and evil, and also a great uppercut.
He boxes a lot, and it's whenever he feels frustrated or angry or whatever. And I just think it's important to emphasize it. I think it's cool that he boxes.
You gotta get it out in a healthy way.
You gotta get it out.
That's what he does when he boxes.
You got the devil. Are you accidentally giving the devil a foothold? Box it out.
Box it out.
Box it out.
Just box it out.
You know, it's the chest plate of righteousness and the belt of whatever, and then it's the upper left hook of whatever.
There you go. It's the strawberry basket of righteous justice.
Yeah, correct. Edward Fernandez plays the priest who boxes. That's right, Padre Vergara, an exorcist with a troubled past and failed exorcisms that have led him to seek refuge and penance in the small town of Pedraza. It is there that he does his best to lead the local religious community and box out his anger. Edward Fernandez is a television and film actor in Spain whose latest television show, The Iron Reign, just came out on Netflix in March.
Have you seen that?
No, I've not. Is it
I
good?
haven't either. I wouldn't know. I haven't seen it. I want to. I'd like to.
I mean, I'm sure he's excellent. I mean, I will say, hey, look, in advance of the rest of the discussion of everything we're about to talk about, he's my favorite part of the show.
He is
not just for the character. I think he is doing some great acting.
Yes, I agree.
A bit of one of those kind of stoic priestly types, very knowledgeable, rational priest. One of those kind of characters that's like, no, I know what a miracle looks like, and this is no miracle, kind of.
He's kind of he's a little kind of weathered a little bit.
Very much so.
A little bit of a jaded vibe.
So I was trying to think of like what he reminded me of, and it finally occurred to me like, oh, duh, it's the priest from The Exorcist.
Yeah.
Who's like being presented with these signs, and he's like, no, it could still be something medical. I think, I think it's, I don't think it's a full like demon possession. That would be a stretch. I think it's something medical or whatever. And then like finally has to confront like, no, this is the real deal, and I've got to do something about it.
To be fair, I think that the projectile pea soup vomiting was fairly medical.
Yes, that part for sure. That's just some tummy troubles.
That's just a little tummy trick on a little sour, tetchy tummy.
But anyway, I think that's who he reminds me of. And I do like that archetype also.
Yeah, sure. It's a good one. Megan Montaner plays Elena Martin, a local veterinarian who stumbles on the first demon, a human infant born of a cow in the first episode of the show. Unable to look away from the events happening in her home, Elena gets tangled up in the mystery surrounding the coin that she found. Montaner has a starring role in The Hunt, a series of self-contained crime thriller miniseries that take place in breathtaking locations in Spain. So, like, it's anthology kind of a bit.
It strikes me as like True Detective, but if each season took place in different places.
Right. And they're beautiful. And they're in Spain.
Yeah, but unlike True Detective, with the same cast. So,
right.
I guess not True Detective at all then.
I mean, well, any anthology. Well, didn't we say or think it's a little more like American Horror Story in that way then? Because the cast is this, I don't know.
Cast is similar or whatever. I'm not sure, but basically it looks like the first one takes place like up in the mountains. Second one's like third season's like on the border of like Spain and Portugal, and then like the second season's like more like Mediterranean, like inner Mediterranean or something.
I see.
So you know it's the same core detectives, and they're just solving mysteries, unconnected mysteries, that vary season to season. Which
Oh man, that sounds fun.
Simultaneously both long form and short form in that case.
That sounds fun.
Yeah, I think so.
I want to watch it.
Yeah, so for each of the seasons it's the hunt, and then where they are or the theme of the season. And so yeah, the first one takes place in the Pyrenees Mountains. Second one takes place it's set on the island of Mallorca?
Mallorca.
Oh, of course. Yes, I know where that is. And then the third is on the Spanish-Portugal border. And so they've been, looks like reliably, one in 2019, one in 2021, and one in 2023.
Oh,
so
maybe we'll get another one. Do we know?
Maybe we will. Oh yeah, why not? I'm sure there's more in the works.
Well, especially if it's, I mean, I guess in a way that would be similar to BBC Sherlock. I don't know. But, in the way that if it does take them a little bit of time, if it's a short anthology sort of miniseries kind of situation, I could see it.
Yeah.
I could see it.
I think that's a nice format.
Yeah.
The reason I compare it, of course, to True Detective is because that like really showcases off like really different locations. And like one of the draws of that first season of True Detective is like the landscape, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Without a doubt.
Mm-hmm. Miguel Silvestre plays Paco, the unexperienced, or rather underexperienced mayor of Pedraza, who is trying to work with Elena and Father Vergara to keep the demons at bay and away from the town he's responsible for. Silvestre should be a bit familiar to American audiences with prominent roles on Narcos and Sense8, as well as a recent role on The House of Paper, which is rebroadcast in America on Netflix as Money Heist, which is a show that I have definitely seen the name of many times and thought that could be a touch more creative.
Yeah, I have considered watching it a number of times. I recently read that apparently the finale was maybe bad, so I don't know. Yeah, but that's the thing is I hate reading stuff like that and letting it influence my decisions. But I am a human being who is highly suggestible, and so it is difficult for me to not listen to outward opinions prior to seeing the thing if I can help it. But I will say I'd give it a shot either way.
Money Heist. I know nothing about it, but apparently there's a number of seasons in Spanish, a season in Korean, and a season in German. So that's cool. It's a truly international franchise.
Why? Just because of where the locations are in each season, or?
Yeah, it looks like it.
How about that?
Following the original series conclusion, a South American remake titled Money Heist Korea Joint Economic Area, which is a thrilling title,
Sure.
was released across 2 parts in 2022, respectively, and a spin-off series, Berlin, was released on 29 December 2023. Both the original series and its South Korean remake enjoyed consistently positive reviews over the years. So I guess it's just one of those things like, how the American Office is a remake of the British one, or whatever. where it's just like,
Right.
oh, we can just port this concept to different cultures and cities, and we have a little bit of like existing intellectual property, but now we can tailor it to a specific culture.
Yeah.
You know. And similarly, by the way, it's not just that the American Office is a remake of the UK. Like, they have made plenty of spin-offs of The Office for various different countries. Like, there's like a Hindi version.
Oh, that doesn't surprise
and
me.
all that. So it looks like it's the same idea of just like, oh, well, let's just make it for this city.
Yeah.
For this country.
Okay.
I've never watched it myself, but obviously, people like it. I am realizing that how many of Netflix maybe specifically, how many of their hits are international TV. And I kind of didn't notice that until just now.
Oh yeah, that's how they get their bread and butter, man.
Yeah,
They
because
just relicense that shit.
yeah, exactly. It's cheaper to license that from other countries than it is to, of course, make their own completely original in-house stuff. So that explains
Although
how
I
you get
will say,
this and Squid Games and whatnot.
true. Although I will say, I did just watch Baby Reindeer, which they actually did legitimately put out originally themselves, which was really good. But of course, that started out as like a one-man show in England, something like a one-man stage show in England. So yeah, no.
Right. Last but not least, we are talking about season 1, episode 3, El Espejo, The Mirror. When a wedding guest violently crashes his car on the way to the reception, an investigation of his living quarters reveals that he has a cursed demon mirror in his apartment. It happens. I assume it just wasn't.
It happens.
The realtor maybe just didn't explain that at the time.
It's only murders they have to disclose.
Oh, it's only murders.
It's only somebody's died there or whatever.
Only murders in the building?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
But, yeah, no, I can... It's one of those things that you got to get a house inspector. Like, before you buy property like this, you really have to get an inspection done.
This is why you appraise, bro. This is why you appraise.
So, got to walk through it. Hey, there's a little mold on the ceiling. That's a demon mirror for sure.
And also, you may want to redo those gutters.
Yeah, and the fence has fallen down just a little bit.
Yeah.
You're going to want to replace that in 1 to 2 years. You got to get a non-cursed mirror, though. That should be priority number 1.
That's priority number 1 ASAP. Non-cursed mirror in the house.
Even though he doesn't.
With the gutters.
Okay, hold on. Let me.
Sorry.
Even though he doesn't initially believe the mirror is anything but a normal mirror, Father Vergara stays up all night to investigate it. Town Mayor Paco and Veterinarian Elena attempt to help him, but Vergara rebuffs their curiosity and tries to handle it alone, which works up until the mirror lashes out against him.
Ah, yes. Well, that's why I should have gotten rid of that first.
Exactly. Again, priority 1 for the house. It's not safe for you. It's not safe for your animals. If you have company over and someone gets cursed, you're liable.
You're liable for that. They could sue you. All right. So
even if you're in a coma at the time.
Let's get into this. So this, Ben, was your decision. This was your pick.
Yeah, it was.
This is your choice, your pick.
I'm responsible for it. I understand.
Yeah. So why don't you just tell me why you picked this show, and also why you chose episode 3 specifically?
Sure. So I had not seen this one prior to suggesting it for this show. I had only watched the pilot of the show, and I was absolutely very intrigued by it. But as much as I was enjoying it, I'm less willing to watch subtitled television than I am subtitled movies, just because a movie is obviously one concrete encapsulated story that I can be like, wow, okay, done. Whereas obviously you got to keep going with that for TV. Surprise, this is a nothing sentence. But I'm less willing to sit down and watch, several seasons of something that's in a language that I don't speak. Not because I don't particularly care for subtitled media. I obviously like subtitled media. It's just that requires my full attention because I gotta read it because I don't speak a lick of Spanish.
Right. That's something that we have talked about before and that we will probably talk about continuously for the rest of the season.
Yeah, it just means there's like a slightly higher threshold of like mental investment because I got to pay that much closer attention.
You have to, yeah, you really can't. It's not one of those that you can idly watch while you're looking at your phone or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. But I loved the premise when I watched the show. The first episode is so creepy.
Yeah.
It's real nasty. There's like a spider demon. It's one of those like, there's like a real Jurassic Park. If you don't move, it can't see you kind of moments where someone's like,
nice.
You know, one of those things where like someone's hiding behind a pew and you can hear it like snarling in the background.
Sure.
There's some real kind of
that's the good
nasty
stuff.
looking body horror in it. But like not unpleasant body horror. It's like it's masked enough in darkness that it's up to your imagination.
Obscured body horror
And whatnot. So and obviously I love religious imagery. I love stories that kind of play off of religious iconography and whatnot. So like obviously this is already up my alley.
Sure.
And then
I wanted
to do this episode specifically because, I mean, in addition to just having not seen it, once I found out that there was like a demon mirror themed episode, which I think I think at the end of the first episode there's like this season on 30 coins, and I kept seeing some like tricky mirror stuff. I was like, oh, I need more of that.
I need to see this mirror shit.
I don't know what it is. What it is specifically, but I think it's maybe because it like plays into psychological horror angles, and I really like psychological horror.
Well,
it's like your dark reflection.
Yeah, I mean, anytime
I love that stuff.
that you add, a portal into some kind of parallel mirror type world, it's always a fun time. That is always a fun time.
Exactly. Yeah, you get it.
I get it. I mean, I agree. It was a great choice.
Thank you. While I like a slasher here and there, and I like a monster movie here and there, I gotta say I really resonate with like psychological horror, ghost stories, and whatnot.
And boy, nobody does ghost stories better than religious plots, do they?
I love religious horror.
So do I, because it's so cheesy, it's so corny in a way, but corny in a way that grabs you.
Of course. It's, and any version of it. Like, look, I like Ghost Rider. I like Paradise Lost.
Totally Ghost Rider. I mean, Stigmata, what a movie, right?
Yes. Jesus.
What a movie. Devil's Advocate.
Right, one of our combined favorite pictures. How could I possibly forget we both love Al Pacino.
Devil's
Advocate.
Hell yeah.
I forgot that was a connecting point between us.
Oh, yes.
I mean, not that there'll be some Madam Web themed bonus content. But on our great web, our friendship, I forgot one of our connecting strands was Keanu Reeves and Al Pacino
the Devil's Advocate.
The Devil's Advocate.
The Devil's Advocate, which has gotten brought up a disproportionate amount of times on this show for the movie to be what it is.
for also a television podcast.
Right, yeah. We bring that movie up a lot on a television podcast.
You know what? Fuck it. I'll pitch to HBO Devil's Advocate, the series.
The series?
Yeah.
I would watch the absolute shit out of that.
That movie's already 3 hours long. We could dice that up into...
I mean,
episodes.
Look, listen. You put a couple more subplots in it, make it 6 hours, and baby, you got a stew going. All right, that's what I have to say about that.
But yes, similarly, I like the original Exorcist. I like the Vavitch.
That's a good one. Wouldst thou like to live deliciously?
Wouldst thou like to live deliciously? Perhaps butter or whatever he says.
God.
It's not like fully religious, but there's kind of I like similarly I like folk horror.
Me too.
Folk horror, which that sometimes like ties in with religiousness specifically, but like even the times where it's not explicitly about like Catholicism or Protestantism, stuff like Silence of the Lambs obviously still gets me the right way.
Sure.
Even if it's not like literally about Catholicism, there's still plenty of like, ooh, what's happening in Appalachia kind of.
They've still got plenty of relics for you.
Yeah, exactly.
And speaking of relics, what about this coin?
Huge fan of Amityville Horror, the book. Anyway.
Yeah.
That one's got some religious imagery in it as well. Anyway, yeah, so this is, I don't know, this appeals to like a bunch of tropes I like. Not to like dissolve everything down to like what tropes it is or whatever, but like, no, this appeals to me. This is like a bunch of stuff that I like.
Yeah, me too.
And I like conspiracy stuff where the conspiracy isn't anti-Semitic.
I love conspiracy stuff when it's not problematic.
When it's not deeply problematic. And the premise of this one, that the Catholic Church is up to some shit, is proven to be true.
Sorry, wait, yeah, that's not
the Catholic Church is always up to some shit.
It's so true.
Okay, once again, more folk than religion specifically, but like The Wicker Man also.
Oh yeah,
the original like Christopher Lee Wicker Man.
Yeah, good shout.
Anyway, yeah, no. So this just appeals to a lot of things that I'm interested in.
Yeah.
And I think it kind of ties a little column A, a little column B, where it comes to, again, the actual like genuine religious horror aspects, and also I think just being a really competent procedural sort of like local crime thriller story. It just happens that the local crime is El Diablo.
It's more local than you think.
Yeah. Oh, The Omen.
Yep.
Duh. Anyway. Leslie, how about you?
I really enjoyed it quite a lot. Like I said, I really, really dig into that corny religious, all of the, icons and relics and all of that stuff, secret societies and, the super secret texts and all of those kinds of things that people speculate make it more serious and less problematic than it is normally. And, I also, really dig, like I said, anytime there's a portal into a mirror world, I'm here for it. All the creepy stuff I'm here for, especially the way that this show utilized the slow burn of creepiness, and the way that it only like maybe twice did do like an overt jump scare, and the rest of it felt like a very slow, ominous kind of suspenseful situation that's building dread. I really appreciated and enjoyed a lot. And priest do boxes. So what do I got to complain about?
Priest do boxes. I genuinely I find Father Vergara like a genuinely really compelling character.
Yeah.
There's something. Okay, I think it's really easy to write the guy who failed character,
Sure.
in like a real, kind of down and out detective way, where it's like, he takes his whiskey neat and he's always at the bar, head down on the table, like, oh, I regret my choices and I'm on the run like or whatever.
Takes the drag of his cigarette, like, I haven't heard that name in years, like that kind of thing.
Exactly. The kind of shit that Wolverine is always doing.
Hell yeah.
Or whatever. But I think it's an interesting, like, this guy isn't just kind of, for context, it's heavily implied throughout the first couple of episodes that, no, it's explicitly stated. I don't know why I said heavily implied. It's explicitly stated that he like fucked up an exorcism and he like accidentally killed someone as a result.
Right. Yeah.
That, there's a degree of, in an exorcism, and this has been documented to have happened. There's a couple of like, I would almost resent to call them true crime cases, but I mean, that's kind of what they are, in which exorcisms have led to the death of the person being exorcised. It's a very intense ritual, and that's obviously it's very sad when it goes wrong. People who are presumably believed to be demonically possessed by the church are presumably encountering at least some explainable health ailment that just, weakened state, etc. It happens.
Yeah.
I don't think... I want to be clear, I don't think that's good.
Sure. That's not,
The way I kind of shrugged it off, but like it has
doesn't really
happened.
excuse it. But it is a fact of life.
Anyway, he's accidentally killed someone in the past, and that guilt is like clearly weighing on him throughout. But instead of just being, the alcoholic detective, I haven't heard that name in a long time, character, like it's clear that he is still trying to find a degree of, like, a way he can go forward, maybe like a little degree of forgiveness by helping other people, which kind of makes him more like, I don't know, feels very like a Ronin samurai or something, where it's like,
or like in My Name is Earl situation.
Huh?
Or like a My Name is Earl situation.
Sure. Or he's like, if I help this small community, that's how I make up for my past sins, kind of situation.
Right.
And
it's an old trope, and it works.
Sure, and I prefer that over a character that's like feels like they've just given up. But
they do that. They do that on
guy.
911 too.
Oh yeah.
No. Yeah, with Bobby Nash, they do that on 911 as well.
Oh yeah, of course.
He's like atoning for killing like 148 people in a house fire. It was an accident.
148?
Yeah, it was an apartment. Well, it was an apartment fire. So it was like the whole apartment building went.
That would make sense now, wouldn't it?
Listen, if you can't extrapolate context clues from my misinformed ramblings, then I don't know what to tell you.
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
Anyway, I like the potential they're doing with this character. Obviously, that he's still trying to help. Obviously, he's got a hobby that he feels passionate about, which is boxing. No, I genuinely, I think he's really compelling. I think it's a compelling main character, and I like actually this. We listed them earlier. I like this kind of trinity of characters that they each have like a different background, a different level of belief. That they have like ways they solve problems that differ from each other. I think, I know we were joking about you need 4 to make a comedy or whatever, but like, I do actually think you need 3 to make a compelling drama, because there's like 3 different approaches, whether that's like, you want a character who's meaner, you want a character who's nicer, and you want a character who's in the middle or whatever, or you have characters who have different levels of experience trying to solve a mystery together or whatever. I actually do think that, like, much like like a stool is the most sturdy structure because it's got 3 legs or something like that.
Okay.
I think there's there's something like that to this, where like, the triangle works.
Yeah. Pyramids. Something.
Yeah. Maybe I meant the triangle. A triangle is the best shape. I don't know what I meant.
What? Okay.
I feel like I am fucking up a common term. 1 second.
I wouldn't worry about it too much. You're doing great.
No, all right. You know what? I typed something into Google and it's just giving me information on stool samples, so I regret that.
Ben, did you just do a risky Google?
On accident.
Best stool shape, wombat.
Ironically, not a triangle. Perfect square.
Yeah, this is a perfect square. It's cube, actually. What is happening?
When used properly, triangles are the most stable and rigid structure in construction today. Whatever, who cares?
Oh, man.
What about this stood out to you?
What about it stood out to me? Well,
there's even more characters than we mentioned in our little lineup. I thought the community overall is really well fleshed out.
I think that just in this one episode, like you said, I feel very strongly that this is a lot about Father Vergara's journey. And I think that the plot surrounding him watching the mirror to see what happens, and the backstory of the guy that the botched wasn't that the botched exorcism guy? The dead guy? Yeah. So he's confronted with this kid that he killed in the mirror, and then he gets tricked into being sucked into the mirror, and then of course his evil mirror half comes out, and I thought that was very compelling. I loved the subplot with them running through all of the hall of mirrors that showed, what's happening on the other side in quote unquote real life. The questions being raised about like which world is real and which one isn't, because of, like, if you can feel the book but you can't see the book, are we in reality, and that kind of, like, it just was so compelling from a setup standpoint, and from like the little details that they put in to slowly plant in your brain like the seeds of doubt, up until the point where Elena sees that Vergara's watch, the fake Vergara, the mirror Vergara's watch, is displayed, the face of it has the numbers displayed backward, and that's how she figures out that he is in fact from Mirrorland. Like, just mind-blowing. So fucking cool. Such cool stuff.
Yeah, so, I guess to summarize the plot a little further, they investigate this cursed mirror. Father Vergara wants to look at it basically alone. I guess, what's his motivation? It's just that at one point the demon says, like, hey, could you walk away real quick? And the other people just do.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, I guess the idea is that he's the only one qualified to handle it, which is obviously a little bit of ego there, which obviously ends up biting him in the ass, and presumably is something he'll like learn from or whatever going forward.
Well, there's only one way to find out.
Keep watching the show, of course.
Keep watching the show.
But by confronting the mirror alone, he kind of falls for a trick that this demonic reflection pulls on him that allows that demonic reflection to swap places with him by dragging him into the mirror and allowing the demonic reflection to step out into the real world. Well, the real world as
what we perceive to be the real world anyway. We don't know.
I can like latch onto this later, but like I love ambiguous storytelling. I like thrive off of it.
So or whatever.
Do I. Like not just stuff like you don't know if the top falls at the end of Inception, but just like...
No, I'm talking about stuff like this, where it's like, okay, but what we're seeing and perceiving as being real is perhaps not the real situation. It's not the real world after all. Love it. Love it.
I love I don't think the top, whether the top keeps spinning in Inception, is that interesting to me as much as like who's to say the real world in the Matrix is the real world or whatever. Like I like
exactly.
Like almost bigger, broader implication kind of stuff.
Sure.
And which obviously this taps into. So I like thrive off of like the character uncertainty and world uncertainty.
Not to get back into this, but The Others does that really, really well. Wait, I told you to watch that. Have you watched that?
Not yet.
Don't Google it because it's like got huge spoilers.
Yes. Nicole Kidman, etc.
Yeah.
I mentioned this last time. Sorry.
Yeah, don't Google it. Just watch it. You're going to get spoiled and then it won't be any good anymore.
I'm not looking, I promise. But the way this demon kind of like tricks Padre Vergara into falling into it. I guess he doesn't even need to trick him necessarily. But he wheels out the individual who Father Vergara accidentally killed in the exorcism. Giacomo, I believe was his name.
Mm-hmm. Giacomo.
Giacomo, of course. Who, the Father Vergara is like begging for forgiveness or whatever, and then this unfortunate victim of the failed exorcism, who looks very zombie-like to say the least, like stands up and shouts like, "No forgiveness, never!" And like grabs him and pulls him into the mirror. And then from the second half of the episode onward, our kind of protectorate priest is stuck in the mirror realm while some horrible, evil doppelganger of him like is wandering the streets and riling up the town to attack our heroes and whatnot.
Yeah.
And you know what? I'll go so far. I'll keep going across tropes I like here. I love an evil doppelganger.
Oh yeah. Okay.
I love an evil doppelganger so much. I love the mirror episodes of Star Trek. I love all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, whips up the town, and then Elena and Paco have to find, of course, our real Father Vergara, who is like trapped in some sort of like elaborate Catholic conference room.
Oh my God, that was so cool. That was so cool.
Evil cardinals.
That's the shit I do like. That's the secret society, evil cardinals. They're all dressed the same. They're in crazy ass robes. I love it.
Here's the thing. What I still find interesting. Once again, I know I just said I love that religious imagery stuff, but like, man, Catholics know how to dress.
They sure do. They sure
or Catholic
do.
hierarchy, not your average Catholic on the street. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Those like pontifex robes and those big red hats and whatnot. Sorry, it's a good look.
Yeah, it is. It is.
The Vatican guards that dress like Swiss mercenaries from 1400. Love that look.
You know what? I'm not getting into that. I'm not going to derail this anymore here.
Yeah, so they spend some time in this mirror realm, and as they're wandering through this, like, again, this like like through the looking glass reality, which is like very, very Versailles, like aristocratic in its construction.
It is, with the chandeliers and the marble floors and the rows and rows of like seats and stuff. Yeah, like along the sides.
Not to go back to Lupin, but it very much looks like the inside of the Louvre, like
a little bit.
Not the Louvre that's like the very modern, like showrooms and whatnot, but like the parts of the Louvre that are just like wings of paintings from an authentic, like what used to be the former like Palace of the King, and whatnot, with like all the what you would expect from like a European art museum with like all the benches and various like ornamental displays and whatnot. And I think that was such interesting set design, obviously, as they kind of step out of this very, like, drab apartment into this, like, very kind of creepy, like, almost, like, fey high fantasy world.
Yeah. Yeah.
I love that shit. And what a cool way to communicate that through set design. And I like that contrast between the mundane and, again, that like, heightened world of not just the church, but also of how whatever these demons are doing. And this kind of like, again, fey realm and whatnot. That like the opening shots in New York are very mundane. There's obviously there's a bit I enjoy that like prominently features like a deli with some like really like kind of awful like fluorescent lights. It just feels very real world. And then they step out of that real world into
very
just
gritty.
Such an interesting place. Yeah.
Yeah, it feels from being kind of like gritty and brutalist to being very very purple and flowery. Purple, I mean, in the prose way, not in the actual color way. But yeah, yes. For sure. That's definitely the vibe that I got.
I'm pulling up additional notes.
Okay.
And overall, I think I mean, okay, I know I've kind of gestured toward this a little bit, but I like the idea that it's a haunted mirror and that it's a haunted doppelganger, because I think that's like a great way to tackle a character that has such deep-seated guilt, is to kind of have it like thrown back in his face by himself. Or
with
anyway, a version
mirror
of himself. Yeah.
He's literally faced with a mirror in which he is forced to reconcile his deepest shame.
I'm looking at the man in the mirror.
Oh yeah.
But no, I think that's a great way to handle that. I watched a video a couple months ago that was like, why are there so many group therapy scenes in movies and TV, right? Addressing why that happens so often in more modern media. And I guess it's that group therapy is perhaps more common as more people are doing therapy in general. But like, it's an excuse from a writer standpoint, for characters to literally talk out their emotions in very straightforward ways that they would perhaps not necessarily have an opportunity to like speak to the audience and be like, by the way, I'm depressed.
Right.
Or, by the way, I'm still haunted. By the way,
It's
I'm
called-
still haunted by my partner's death years ago, or whatever. That like group therapy scenes give these characters, and off the top of my head, there's like some in Better Call Saul, there's some in Haunting of Hill House, like a bunch of shows I really like have implemented this to have them like speak out, like, by the way, here's my deal and here's what's wrong with me. And I think this is a good way to do that without having done a group therapy scene where he is very much confronted again by a version of himself, and it gets to say out loud to the audience, but in a far more subtle way. And here's who I am and what my deal is,
right.
but in a way that doesn't maybe feel as artificial, or maybe as
like as
now
plot
as the group
devicey
therapy is.
as plot devicey maybe.
Yeah, very much so. Well, that's the thing, is because so many of these movies and TV shows are kind of doing that now. It kind of now already does feel just a touch cliche.
Yeah. It's one of those instances where the first time that it's ever done, it's revolutionary, and then it just becomes such an overused device that you're just like, oh shit, here's this again.
Which, off the top of my head, and this could be wrong, but Fight Club?
Yes, I would say Fight Club wasn't the first, not far from the first time that it happened, but I think that it was probably the first time that it was used to such a focal degree.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, where it's very much the beginning of that story is about the main character using group therapy and kind of like vampirically like bathing in like the trauma of other people.
Right.
But he also communicates that
definitely.
like via direct narration, because Edward Norton's character is like the narrator of the movie as well. Anyway, that was just one of the first like major prominent examples I can think of off the top of my head of that being used like that. But anyway, I thought this was a great way to have our principal character really just kind of effectively look us in the eyes and say like, hey, here's what my deal is, in a way that, didn't feel as cliche and felt very compelling, because he's going up against this doppelganger version of himself, and he's like actively trying to atone for his sins, literally.
Right.
Which again just makes me really latch onto this character. I think he's very compelling.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, definitely.
I think so I think it really matters in this episode that it's a mirror. And I don't think that's like not to just like list other procedurals that I don't think maybe do this as well, but I'm not under the impression that like Buffy the Vampire Hunter or Slayer, sorry, that's her name. Like has a direct or whatever, the Supernatural Brothers. I don't think they have a direct
the Supernatural Brothers.
Sam and Dean, sorry. I know their names.
Yes. Good old Sam and Dean.
But like I don't think the premise of those shows is that they have like a foil relationship with every demon or alien or monster or vampire that they come across, right? It's Monster of the Week.
Yeah.
But I thought this was a really interesting way to take a Monster of the Week and make it about the protagonist, instead of just being like, well, you're the new guy I have to kill, or, sprinkle some holy water on or whatever. It's like, no, it's about his past. It's about his trauma.
I can see that, yeah.
Like, so, monster number 5, the mirror.
Ta-da!
Yeah. You know what I mean? It feels more connected to him specifically.
Definitely.
Lesley, there's not a ton of jokes in this one, but do you have like a favorite dramatic moment? There's a handful of little goofs in there, here and there.
I already mentioned the watch being backwards, which was by far my absolute favorite moment from a dramatic perspective. It's something that has not been mentioned that I do want to mention as being a favorite moment was when we were first introduced to the mirror, and the first time that we see somebody walk past in the mirror that isn't in the room, but we see them in the mirror. That was pretty horrifying. And then there's like the thing with the door where he's like opening and closing the door, but then you don't see like in the mirror.
Yes, you're right. We've almost under addressed the like special effects of this episode.
Yeah.
And And you're right, we should delve into that a little deeper.
Yeah.
Because, yeah, there's a cool... Obviously, so there's a couple of shots where both of them are in frame. And one of them's in the frame. But
Hey.
there's, that used to be harder to pull off. It's obviously much easier now with, like, digital masking and all that kind of stuff. But, yeah, there's multiple shots where... someone's like staring at their reflection and like the reflection moves in a creepy way or whatnot, or like Father Vergara, there's one major moment where Father Vergara is sleeping and like the reflection is just like watching him from above in a real creepy way. And you can still see the original priest's reflection in the mirror, like kind of like half opacity, as he's being watched by this kind of doppelganger self and whatnot. But yeah, I think the special effect of it is incredible, and the way the mirror works is also pretty interesting. And we've almost not tapped in on how I think genuinely this episode scared me.
Oh yeah, it was creepy. It's ooky spooky.
After they kind of explain how the mirror works a little bit, where there's the whole like, oh, sometimes we see stuff on the other side that doesn't match our world. In this case, it's the physical copy of the Gospel of Judas.
Yes, that I touched on that a little earlier, talking about which one of the worlds is real, and
right, yeah,
and the idea that you can feel and touch a book that isn't there, but that you can see in the mirror. Ooh,
so creepy. But yeah, at one point, like once they're like, oh wait, hold on, if I open and close the door on this end, it's opening and closing in the mirror, but I'm not doing anything over on this side or whatever. Or actually, it's the reverse. The door is always open on the other side, even if he's opening and closing it in the real world, or what we perceive as the real world.
The real world.
But at one point, yeah, they go back to focusing on the mirror, and you just see someone run like full speed out of the room in the reflection or whatever, and that is a genuine like effective jump scare, and that's a jump scare for the characters and for the audience, and I think that's so hard to pull off.
We all went on that journey together, and it was beautiful.
Yeah, I think the logic of the mirror is really good, and that led to like a really effective scare for me.
Yeah,
like that got me. I love to hate it. That's the whole nature of horror, right? But I love like a skittering, like something like, see something out of the corner of your eye. Something moves too fast for you to catch it.
Yeah.
Oh, that just drives me up the wall.
I always love those moments. Those moments are always so good because all that you're left with is the dread of where did it go? What was it? And where is it?
Exactly. Feels very much like the xenomorph in Alien,
Yeah, or that alien in Signs.
Yeah, exactly. Where it's just,
that goes across the TV screen.
Yeah, it's just I am sharing this room with something malevolent, and I can't find it.
Yeah, and I don't I don't even know what it looks like.
Yeah. Ugh, I love that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Me too.
So sorry, you were saying your favorite moment was the.
Oh, it was just those moments. All in all, with the use of the mirror as a builder of dread, by using those devices. I loved.
Yeah, and it's creepy. Like obviously, there's the moment where he asks Paco and Elena to step out of the room, but they're like still watching him on the camera because they set up these security cameras in the room to be able to watch, even I guess without the father's permission. But like when he starts, like there's this increasing level of dread where he starts ripping the cameras like off of the wall. And even though like nothing about that room is like really changing, the fact that he's like cutting off contact with the outside world and that he's like preventing his supposed allies from watching, there's like an increased like level of thrill there. It's like we don't want him to be left alone in that room with the monster. Even if he's already alone in that room with the monster. It's just like, once the cameras start going off, it's like, oh God, he's truly on his own.
He's really on his own.
Yeah. Especially for this kind of horror story where the whole horror is like, would you be able to tell let the right one in, you know.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's a good one too.
In a real, you know, what's the one truth you ask you and your clone to know who's the real one?
Right, to know who's the clone and who's the original person. Yeah.
Exactly. Love that kind of stuff. For me, one of my favorite moments is indeed a joke. It is when he is, when Father Vergara and Paco are in the like deli, and he's being like, "No, don't you understand? Like, Christ wanted to be betrayed. It was part of his plan. For the divine plan to happen, Judas needs to have participated in the divine." You know, this is like literally like Catholicism 200, right?
Yeah.
It's like, oh, was Judas's betrayal of Christ like premeditated? Did it have to happen? Should Judas be punished for that? That's like a, you know.
Didn't Jesus already know he was going to do this, and wasn't he part of the plan as a result, and so on and so forth, and so many theological questions.
Yeah, if you approach your faith and theology with like a degree of intellectualism, like that comes up, and there's like a huge source of debate. And it's so funny to him go like, you know, like Christ wanted to be betrayed. Hey, could I get 100 grams of ham? And also, do you have any blood sausage? Thanks.
Yes.
To go right from that, like Christ wanted to be betrayed, to placing his order at the meat counter.
That was pretty great. That was really,
incredible.
really great. Yeah, I agree. Good shout.
It's that combination again of just like, again, there's this huge religious conspiracy, but also like they gotta eat. They're in a mundane little small town. That mundane little small town just happens to be being afflicted by demons. Sure.
It's haunted. Town's haunted.
Yeah, but like they gotta eat, and the mayor's gotta do his little ceremonies and stuff.
Yeah.
He's got a job to do. Everyone's got jobs to do. And unfortunately there's demons.
Ben. Yeah.
We gotta go to work even when there's demons.
So true, bestie.
So true. Anyway, I just think it's really compelling, like horror drama.
I loved it. I just think they're neat.
And I guess, hey, you know what? Leaning into the international aspect, I think this is a great like setting for this kind of story as well.
Definitely. Because you have so many opportunities to make it feel as big or as small as you want it to, based upon so many factors. Based upon, you know, what's going on in the mirror realm, what's going on in the real world, or, you know, in the room where Father Vergara is just like stuck the whole time by himself, like watching. I mean, I guess he's not stuck because he decided to do it himself, but you know what I mean, where he's sequestered alone all night. It's just really cool. I like it. I think they're neat.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
I think the setting really helps. If this took place in like small town Missouri, I wouldn't care in the same way if it took place in small town Spain.
True. It's a good point.
And like in a way where like if they were to go to like the Versailles Fey realm or whatever, and if it was an American show, I don't think that would connect in the same way as like obviously that kind of architecture and design like hits different in Europe. And whatnot. I think there's like a lot of obviously like history and geography you can play with for that specific region, obviously.
Yeah.
30 coins.
30
Big
coins. Fan. Yeah, I love it.
I hope they find the coins.
Yeah. Well, they have one of them. 29 coins to go.
And the Room of Evil Cardinals appears to have like the other 12 or whatever. Or another 12, I should say.
Or at least another, yeah.
Oh, I gotta say, when they are about to, when the evil cardinals, folks, watch the episode, obviously.
Yeah, definitely watch the episode.
When the evil cardinals are about to kill Padre Vergara, and they have the dagger up to his throat, and they're clearly about to do some sort of evil blood ceremony, and to save him, they rather Elena and Paco slam the coin up against the mirror.
Oh, yes. That was such a moment.
But the way the, I guess, head of the table cardinal, turns around and does this creepy little smile when he realizes, oh, they've just brought it to us. We don't need to interrogate this guy. They've just brought it to us. But he does this nasty little, smirk smile of just, evil smugness that just like, not to just get lost in the adjective soup here, but like, oh, it's very creepy. And I love that little performance. I don't even think he says a line of dialogue. He's just got a nasty face.
Love it for him. He does so great.
Folks, my name is Ben Hamlin. You can find me online at Sufficient Owls. Of course, I stream on Twitch, and you can check out my other work at infinitybreak.net. Lesley, where can people find you?
You can find me at Venetti most places. And I don't do nearly as many interesting things as Ben in terms of Twitch streaming and things of that nature, but I am a fun time. I'm a great conversationalist. Come hang out.
Folks, that concludes this episode of Syndicated with Lesley and Ben. We have some interesting guests and some interesting shows coming down the pipeline, and I'm going to be very excited to share those with you, hopefully very soon. But we'll see you in 2 weeks' time with another episode. Thank you so much for listening.
Have a good one.